by Pat Adams. With Todd Austin, Vladimir Voyer-Tadao ready to go. What a Saturday already in the SEC. The opening tip controlled by the Aggies. And here comes Wade Taylor. Deep three already. Off the front of the rim, and the rebound corralled by Anthony Robinson. Well, PB, you remember Robinson had 4 fouls in the road loss at Knoxville on Wednesday. Only played 5.5 minutes. He's back in the starting lineup tonight, along with Tony Perkins in the backcourt. And it's Mitchell, Pierce, and Bates rounding out the starting 5 for head coach Dennis Gates. You expect to see a lot of Joshua Gray. Robinson off the back iron. Henry Coleman the third, a rebound.
And we see both teams early on switching those screens, forcing 2 deep threes on both ends of the floor.
Henry Coleman the third making his 100th career start for the Aggies. Off the mark with a jump hook. 1 minute in, still scoreless. How about the environment already? I mean, it's been loud for the last half hour. Raucous crowd, you love it.
I love it. Missouri continue. 5 guys have to get on that defensive glass.
Easier said than done. The rejection by Obaseki. He clipped the three-pointer by Bates.
They do have Pharrell Payne. Great job of Payne getting deep into that paint for the post-up. Just missed him.
Here's Payne. The quick touch. The drive and a foul. And Pharrell Payne, the Minnesota transfer, will shoot a pair of free throws. Buzz Williams, year 6 in College Station after coming in from Virginia Tech. 10 career NCAA tournament appearances going back to his time at Marquette. Mark Mitchell picks up his first foul.
And that's going to be something to watch as the foul trouble. Both these teams love to attack the rim, get to the free throw line.
Payne, a 57% free throw shooter. Dennis Gates trying to lead Mizzou back to the dance for the 2nd time in his 3 seasons. Shocked the world 2 years ago. In year number 1, leading this program back to the dance, and Texas A&M on the board first.
You go on the road, right? You're going to have to make your free throws. A&M is last in the SEC at 68%. However, they shoot the 3rd most in SEC.
Perkins has it stolen by Phelps. Zurich Phelps on Ant Robinson. Up and in.
And this is going to be a game where you can't have any lack of focus, no lazy passes. You see A&M pushing out their 3/4 court press, where they'll trap at times in the half court or when you step over the half court line.
Big win for Vanderbilt, protecting the home floor at Memorial Gymnasium earlier today against Texas. Trailed after the first half, then came roaring back with Jalen Carey. And Perkins is going to be fouled going baseline. That goes on Obaseki.
This is an aggressive style defense. Just a lazy pass right there by Perkins. He knows better than that. Phelps steps in. And that's really an unforced turnover right there. It was excellent pressure defense by A&M, but Tony Perkins should have been a little bit smarter in getting Missouri in their offense.
Well, it was Perkins who carried the Tigers at Tennessee Wednesday night. 8 early points after they trailed 5-0.
Yeah, Mizzou's offense, they want to spread you out.
Bates off the mark with a mid-range.
And that's going to be a shot he'll have to make today because it's going to be difficult to get in the lane off the dribble against this A&M defense.
Wade Taylor tough in traffic.
That I consider a transition bucket. May not go into the stats as a fast break point, but that's certainly a transition bucket. Attacking Missouri when they're on their heels.
Pierce to Robinson, back to Pierce. That's a 3 on the way. Tigers still scoreless, 3 minutes in.
Yeah, quick ball movement, player movement. Oklahoma was able to get some good looks against A&M's half-court trapping defense in the corners, but it started getting it to the free throw line, then pitch it out to the corner for a 3.
Remember, Oklahoma had that one game in Norman ahead by 18 with Goodine going off, and now it's Obaseki. And just like that, it's 7-0 Aggies.
Yeah, Anthony Robinson right there, great sophomore, one of the better defenders in the SEC.
Outside to Pierce, tumbling down was Robinson, and the Tigers turn it over again. And Dennis Gates searching for answers,
Anthony
talking
Robinson
with this veteran officiating crew.
Oh, then again, we had a little bit of the officials got a little bit from both coaches, I think, early on in this game, and we knew it was going to be a high free throw foul shooting game. And I think Coach Gates is trying to explain, hey, we need that whistle today, a little home whistle.
Already 2 turnovers for Mizzou. They had 3 the entire game Wednesday at Tennessee. And Buzz Williams already talking with this veteran crew about all of those things.
Well, they're making their cases even before tip-off, just to make sure that the officials say, watch for this, watch for that. And this is, both coaches expected this type of environment. Going on the road in a packed house here at Missouri, you want to make sure that it's a clean game as you can, but Coach Dennis Gates understands how just difficult it is officiating in this league because of the physicality.
Conference is as deep as it's ever been, as good as it's ever been from top to bottom. Joe Lenardi's got 13 projected in the field now, with Arkansas back on the bubble. They'll swing it around. Obaseki from downtown. The rebound by Coleman and a fresh 20. Taylor an air ball. Payne on the offensive glass, up and in. A grown man move under the rim.
Well, there's 2 big, strong, physical guys in Coleman and Payne. One of the reasons they're a great offensive rebounding team is they understand where their shots are coming from at the offensive end. A&M does. They take the right shot, the right person, allows offensive rebounders to get in position.
Here's Mitchell, swatted away by Payne. And Mitchell caught it out of bounds. The Tigers turn it over. It's the #1 offensive rebounding team in America, Texas A&M.
Well, they have good timing. Obviously, you see the size and the strength. However, it's the positioning and understanding. Payne knew that shot is coming from Wade Taylor, right? He understands you could throw it to Wade Taylor just about anywhere on the floor as deep as he was, and he's going to put it up. Get in position for that offensive rebound.
Pharrell Payne is bouncy.
Yes.
And aggressive. And he's adjusted to Buzz Williams' system beautifully. Josh Gray got some fingertips on it. Brill corrals it, but a foul inside. So Tamar Bates picks up his first. Pharrell Payne on the bench. And when you take a look at what the Aggies can do on the glass, and Payne, who Buzz Williams told us earlier today, you know, he came here, he's never worked the way that he's worked so far in College Station. He was flattened in the month of September, off-season workouts, yeah. But he was always resilient, and he's responded to this level of coaching, this level of play in this league.
Well, I think helping playing alongside guys like Henry Coleman, coming into a situation where you have established veterans, Wade Taylor IV, he can learn from those guys. Now, Missouri on the other end has had extremely difficult time. Their offense is designed to spread it out, lift the floor. This zone defense has been tough for them. You got to move quick, get to that free throw line area. Now they go back to the man-to-man. They showed that zone. Switching defenses, that's not always able to do. Great communication by their defense.
In and out for Perkins. The lid remains firmly on this side of the arena.
And it's been all jump shots outside of the lane, nothing in the paint.
Phelps bullies his way inside, drew the contact, and high off the glass, it's 12-0 A&M. Caleb Grill. Well, he's got the range. He nailed a 40-footer at Mississippi State last Saturday. Here's Bates. Wide open three, and Tamar Bates enters the chat.
And that's what Mark Mitchell does at 6'9". He catches it outside the three-point line, puts it on the floor, puts in the paint, kicks for a three.
And Shuda, he turned right to this Mizzou crowd and said, we're okay. We're okay. Have a seat. We scored. It's going to be all right. Three-pointer off the mark by Solomon Washington, who's back in for Buzz Williams today. Buzz, or check that, Bates now has 5.
And defensive rebounding. All 5 white jerseys get to the ball. They're fast. They're quick to the ball. They're going to be able to get out in transition.
Bates creates a buzz with back-to-back buckets. And now Taylor. Solomon Washington had missed the last 2 games after turning his ankle against Texas. Back on the floor, Coleman pushes that one up and in.
Yeah, that was just too easy. Catches it right there at the SEC logo. Josh Gray is going to be a little more aware and alert on that play. Simple basketball play.
Bates has all 5 Mizzou points. And that pass sailing out of bounds. Perkins unable to haul it in.
And Bates talking about a foul. The issue also, Roy, with this A&M defense, if you over-dribble, if you over-penetrate, they are so good at digging at that basketball. And here we see Mark Mitchell. What's so unique about him, great ball handling skills, great footwork, great vision, gets in the lane, distributes. I like that right there, but it all starts where? Defensive rebounding for Mizzou. I thought he was going to kick it out to Caleb Grill for a tray. Get him going.
Maybe of the logo variety. Here's Phelps, in and out. And Garcia over the back of Grill.
Ooh, Coach Gates is not going to like that one. I believe they called that on Caleb Grill.
Grill, it appeared from our vantage point, had boxed out Andy Garcia.
And that's really Josh Gray. Looks like that they put it on Josh Gray. A lot of, oh, yeah, right there. He's pulling on Payne. If you saw him pull, he's got 2 hands on his waist.
Good call.
Good call.
First on Gray, inside to Payne, and he bounces another one up there. A&M with 14 of its 16 points in the paint so far.
Well, Mizzou's got to play pressure defense on the passer. Everyone looks at the catch and the finish. If you pressure the passer, not allow him to get that ball over the top, that's one way to prevent that. Good slip by Mitchell.
And the dunk inside on the great pass, high-low. And Pat Adams going to stop this game for a moment, telling Bates and Washington to calm things down a little bit. Well, we spoke with Tamar Bates earlier this morning, and I said, Tamar, you don't take anything from anybody. And I used a different word, but he said, you're right. And he goes, I'll talk trash to the opposition.
Right.
I'll talk trash to my teammates to get them ready.
Kansas City kid.
Phelps, left-handed delivery in traffic.
That's what he does as well as anybody in the SEC. Puts his head down, athletic, strong player, can finish at the rim. I know he's had some games where he's won off from the 3-point line, but that's his game right there.
Transfer from SMU. What a find by Buzz Williams in the portal. Mitchell has it stolen away. Garcia got it to Payne. And then Payne off the fingertips and out of bounds. Open date, if you will, for the midweek game comes right in the middle of the schedule, which is not a bad thing at all.
Well, listen, the February is a grind, okay? That's when you mentally, physically have to fight through it. I believe it's the coaches who are going to determine the freshness of their team because of decisions like that. Let their legs and their minds rest. Caleb Grill has not had a touch here, especially in the, I thought he was going to pull that one. And those are the ones that we've come to see him make over the course of the last month.
Second team foul called on Texas A&M. Grill had a moment earlier in the half where I thought he was going to pull the trigger on the 3-pointer from the logo. Decided against it. He won't force the action. The foul was called on Phelps.
No, he won't. I think when he's feeling it, like he was at Mississippi State, at Florida, catching it from 40 feet. However, you know, he's a guy that makes the right decision, whether it's pass and shoot, but you're right, he won't force it.
Marquez Warwick on the floor.
A&M, I mean, they just have everybody packed into that paint. There you go.
Jacob Cruz wide open. That's a triple. It's 18 to 10, and those close to this program will tell you number 35 could be the best pure shooter on this team, and that's saying something.
Yeah, and that was the second bucket as Andy Garcia puts his shoulder into Anthony Robinson.
Offensive foul. It goes back to Mizzou.
Right here, Jacob Cruz does a good job, and Missouri had the bucket earlier with this. Cruz sets that screen, and instead of slipping to the basket, Mark Mitchell did that earlier, slipped to the basket. Lowered his shoulder a little bit, but back to that, Jacob Cruz sets the screen and then pops wide open three.
They are going to take a look to that to see if that screen should be elevated.
It looks like it was a shoulder to the either shoulder or chest to me in first glance. Roy, back in the day, that's a no call. Now right here. I mean, I think it was a good call because it looks like he leaned in with a shoulder. I don't know if there's anything nefarious going on there.
Unnecessary. We will see what Pat Adams is taking a look at, and I would tend to agree with your assessment. You can feel the energy kind of get rerouted back inside the arena.
The play was stand as a common foul.
Uh-oh, getting the antlers going over there in the student section.
I couldn't be an official. I couldn't do it.
Oh,
could you? It's a tough job.
No. I once officiated like in the summertime, and it did not last.
Did you get booed off the floor?
Oh, booed off the floor. People throw basketballs at you that didn't like the call.
Jacket's already off Buzz Williams. It's going to be that kind of game.
And with A&M's pressure defense, right, they're going to deny you. You have to be strong with the basketball if you're Missouri in this half court. Utilize the back screen, whether it's a screen, slip it, or screen and pop like Cruz just did. You got to be strong with the basketball.
Gray lost it. Payne forced the turnover. Goes back to the Aggies.
And the other thing, Anthony Robinson has to be better getting open for his big fella, right? Josh Gray, although he made a nice high-low pass earlier to Mark Mitchell, the most comfortable handling the basketball so high. That's nice action.
Taylor, wow, over the top of Grill, and here comes Payne. Wave off the bucket. They're going to say interference. Now the ball in the cylinder. Payne came crashing down off the miss by Taylor. His head was right at the rim from our vantage point.
I think that's part of A&M too. We know they're such a great offensive rebounding team for many reasons. One of them is they got multiple guys who can attack the rim. What does that do? Brings over help. And now that opens up Payne, Garcia, because their man is helping off on the drive.
Tigers have made their last 4 from the field after a cold start, including 2 threes. Outside to Cruz. Well, that's his spot, and it's all net. He's going to tell you about it coming back down the court.
If you can turn the corner on A&M's defense, you can have that skip pass. It's going to be on time, on target, and that shooter's going to be ready.
Payne rejected by Mitchell, corralled by Warren. Here's Cruz. He checked. Payne's going to be fouled. He will shoot 2. This is as loud as I can remember this venue in quite some period of time, Shooter. It's impressive.
Pick a highlight. Pick anyone. Cruz, his last one? Okay. Caleb Grill, we talked about his vision. He attracts a lot of attention because he can put it up. Jacob Cruz, listen, he's ready to shoot. His feet are set. His eyes are ready. Catch, puts it up, no hesitation. It's the skip pass. Because, again, with A&M's defense on the ball so tough, if you can figure out a way to create a passing lane. And we'll get into that later, how it's not just the passer that has to have the vision and be able to get by his guy, but also the shooter. He's got to understand how to sometimes slide to his right, slide to his left to open up that passing lane. There are times where you just stand there. Okay, yeah. Right, stand in the corner, wait for it. A lot of times you got to move to get open.
Payne 2 for 2. That stops a 9-0 run by the Tigers. And Payne checks out. Henry Coleman back on the floor. Jacob Cruz, an early story with 3 triples coming off the bench.
Well, that three-point line, if you can shoot it, you're always in it. In conference play, Mizzou's making over 10 threes per game at a 38% clip.
Well, this game has almost gone according to plan for both sides.
Yes.
Mizzou with the threes, A&M on the offensive glass.
And that's a great point. Both teams knew that coming in to weather the storm. There's the backdoor cut.
Caleb Grill off the pump fake. Pops out to Mitchell, who slams it home. Taylor, the runner. Robinson to Mitchell. And Payne bothered that attempted dunk. Bad intentions for number 25, but Payne said, I don't think so.
Nah, I probably would have given it a hard dribble, play off 2 feet, maybe pump fake the big fella.
Hayden Hefner has his pocket picked by Robinson. Aggies started this game on a 12-0 run, and just like that, we're tied at 20.
Mitchell saw the mismatch, was able to get it into the paint finish. Big fella wasn't there to contest it.
Taylor bumped in the lane, and Wade Taylor gonna shoot 2 after this timeout, and here comes Jacob Cruz, PB.
You talked about him behind the three-point line. One of many. Great job. Just a pick and pop right there. See how he slid to the left to create that passing lane, and right there just a catch and shoot. Jacob Cruz.
6-12 Arkansas be an NCAA tournament team, and Joe Lunardi wouldn't say it was a lock, but he felt pretty good about Coach Cal's chances if they can just get to 6 wins in this league because of all the quad 1 opportunities.
Absolutely.
The elite competition. They're right there. We know these 2 teams are in. There could be as many as 13 or 14 in by Selection Sunday.
And that is the great advantage of playing in such a competitive league. Each game moving forward, quad 1, quad 2, you have a legitimate chance of who you beat and where you beat them. You know, you've got Alabama, if you're Arkansas, you got Alabama coming in tonight. That's a quad 1 game for you. A great opportunity.
It feels like with Alabama coming to your house, it should be like something higher than a quad 1.
You know,
like a quad 0. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and the Hawks found their identity. You know, for me, energy, effort is what they're going to have to win on. They're an athletic team. They can't rely on the three-point shot. You had them in Georgia where I think they found something in their
Without
identity.
Boogie Flan, yes, that's a foul.
So
Case Carter checks in.
Texas A&M, they have a system in their three-quarter court trap where certain players will trap in the backcourt. And this is all talked about pregame. All right, we're going to trap this particular player in the backcourt. Others, they'll just when they come over half court, they'll trap him. And then others, they'll just play it to slow down the offense and get back on beat.
Warwick trying to give Mizzou its first lead. Off the back iron from the corner. Taylor nearly turned it over in front of his coach. Aggies without a field goal in almost 5 minutes. Touch for Washington. Sore ankle's good to go. Henry Coleman III. That's the Aggies offense in action.
Henry Coleman, Jacob Cruz did all he could to try to get Coleman out of the lane. See how difficult that is.
A&M out rebounding Mizzou 12-7. Contrasting styles with the way Missouri gets up and down the court, the way the Tigers shoot the 3, and the way Aggies pound the glass. Grill's got this kind of range. Draws solo. Cruz has had the hot hand. And the Aggies suffocating on defense.
Yeah, they switch everything, not allowing Cruz or Grill to even get off an inch to shoot it. And you see they deny the wings, but they're so good at communication. So you try to backdoor cut. Occasionally it'll happen. We saw that's how Mizzou was able to get a couple of buckets early. But that just was a fantastic defensive possession by Texas A&M.
Well, this environment, these teams, this feels like the kind of matchup you're going to see in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament next month. High-level hoops again for both of these teams. Mizzou coming off the tough road loss at number 4 Tennessee. A&M's had the week off after a win in a hard-fought battle at South Carolina. Obaseki, Coleman again, and fouled over the back by Cruz.
So a couple things. I do think it's going to be critical for Missouri's half-court defense. You've got to be able to play one-on-one, right? You cannot demand help, because once help, then you get in rotation, and that leads to an offensive rebound. That particular time, Coleman the third, he was just too big and strong, going over the top of that offensive rebound.
Henry Coleman the third has 9 rebounds. We've got 6 minutes to go in the half.
I did the LSU-Alabama game when Corey Chest had 18 rebounds, 15 in the first half. He was eating them up like Pac-Man.
That's getting after it.
That's getting after it. Henry Coleman the third eating them up. That's a good offense, especially on the road. Shoot it, go get it, stick it back in.
Obaseki in traffic, force one up. Coleman taps it back out to Carter.
That's winning basketball.
Here's Phelps for 3, and a foul inside. Bucket is good by Phelps. And a foul called, I believe, on Jace Carter. They're going to count the triple. Carter picks up his first.
And I would say this to Missouri and A&M. As we see it right here, the tip back.
I mean, Coleman gets a rebound for that. He's already in double-double territory with 4 points and 10 boards.
He should get the hockey assist too. Come on, he tips it back. Watch this, tips it back. Carter, Phelps. If you're Missouri, don't panic. Coming into this game, you knew what A&M's strength was, getting on the glass, right? If you're A&M, Missouri starts going on haters from the three-point line. Don't panic. You knew that's what they do. This is a long game. Both teams showing why they are top 10 material.
Do you want to see Caleb Grill perhaps be a bit more aggressive? Not when Tamar Bates is that open. Off the mark that time. And here's Phelps. I mean, Grill's had moments where it feels like he had enough real estate to pull the trigger and elected against it.
Yeah, and he may see that moving forward, maybe in the second half being a little bit more aggressive. But I think right now, you're fine with only down 7.
Stripped by Grill. Obaseki on the way up, lost the handle. Here's Mark Mitchell. There's Grill.
Get it back to him.
And Pierce is going to be fouled by Phelps.
Yeah, Caleb Grill was not happy. That was a classic example of a give and go for the 3. Caleb Grill gives up his shot, which he could have shot that. Henry Coleman goes flying, gives it up to Pierce. He goes, Mr. Pierce, get back to me. I'm wide open, brother. I'm wide open. The old give and go, like Bird to McHale, back to Bird. Remember those days?
I didn't like the Celtics growing up, so I loathe those days. I hate to tell you that, Shooter, but I do remember, and you are correct.
It's not a prettier play in basketball than the give and go. You could do it, give and go for a 3 or a layup dunk.
Robinson aggressive. And he's got the chance here to stop a 7-0 Aggies run.
And he attacks it from the corner. If you can get that swing pass against the A&M defense, that corner swing is open for a 3 or an attack.
First free throw of the game for the Tigers. And Robinson, 80% at the line. Only one game on the SEC women's basketball schedule coming up Monday night. Reagan Beers and OU, ranked in the top 15, will battle the Auburn Tigers. That is Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Coverage right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. How about the Lady Vols getting a
I love
really
how they play.
Big win against UConn. Their first victory over the Huskies since 07. Back on Thursday night, a statement win for the league.
They're a fun team to watch. Remind me of the old 40 minutes of hell days. Get up, press, shoot the three.
And then the substitution patterns for Kim Caldwell.
Oh, platoon style.
It's amazing.
5 at a time. 5 new ones. Let's go. Keep them going.
Now, Robinson struggled in that road loss at Tennessee Wednesday. 4 fouls, only played 5.5 minutes. He certainly wanted to redeem himself today. He stayed out of foul trouble in this first half thus far. Lead is back to 5 for the Aggies. Top 15 showdown here in the SEC.
Here's Mizzou zone, 1-3-1 action.
Basicki running the point. C.J. Wilcher on the floor for the first time. He's a sharpshooter, and he shows you why.
That's a tough shot.
Transfer from Nebraska shooter. Team high 40% from downtown.
Well, I mean, A&M really didn't move the basketball much. It was just sort of just side to side a few times. Wilcher from deep bailed him out.
Second triple of the half for the Aggies. Here's Robinson again in the air. Coleman picks off the pass.
Left his feet, thought he was going to have a shooter in the corner. And that's an example of Pierce maybe sliding open, right? Create an open passing lane for your teammate. No, he shouldn't have left his feet.
There's the lob to Coleman. And a patient layup at the rack. Henry Coleman III.
Thought he was going to rip down the rim on that one, right?
6 points and 10 boards. I thought the same.
See, slide over tomorrow.
Here's Pierce. In and out. Well, that would have been big. Gray lost the handle. Coleman rips it away. Boy, Henry Coleman, what a force he's been in the half. Robinson stepped out of bounds after the steal. The lead at 10 for Texas A&M. The number 1 and 2 seeds listed by Joey Brackets, including Auburn and Florida, knocking on the door, currently over on ESPN2. And you know the jungle has come to life there. Here at Mizzou Arena, this atmosphere, this has been incredible. And the home team's down 10 on the strength of this 12-2 run by the Aggies. It's been a fun start here to see what these two programs are capable of.
It has, and going into this game, it was very clear what each team did well, right? A&M, you know they're going to get on the glass. Mizzou, don't panic, keep fighting. We know Mizzou is going to try to beat it from the three-point line. And right now, 4 of 11 for Mizzou. You expect them to continue to get shots at 36.4% now. So they're going to get their looks on the three-point line, and you can come back quickly from any deficit.
Wilcher takes his second triple. This time he comes up short. Tony Perkins comes away with it after the rebound by Gray. And Perkins has been held in check so far. Indianapolis native, came in from Iowa, two-team All-Big Ten, or two-time All-Big Ten, I should say. And he's going to shoot 2 free throws here.
Great ball fake right there. Gets Solomon Washington off balance. Perkins, big, strong 6'4", puts his head down straight to the rim.
First foul on Payne. And one more coming. Don't forget, coming up Tuesday night right here on SEC Network. Up first, number 1, Auburn in Memorial Gymnasium. What a scene that's going to be in Nashville after Vanderbilt's win against Texas earlier today. That's at 7 Eastern. Then at 9 o'clock, Fighting Texas Aggies hosting Georgia Bulldogs down at Reed Arena here on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Janai Broome, get my vote for National Player of the Year. The debate rages on between him and Cooper Flagg. Averaging a double-double, those numbers, and he can shoot the 3. I mean, that's been added to the arsenal the last 2 years for head coach Bruce Pearl. And you saw the numbers coming back from injury. Awfully impressive. Payne rolls it in over Gray. Here's Bates, picked off by Washington, who steps out of bounds.
And those are the type of winning plays. Solomon Washington, right? You see him just sprint straight for Caleb Grill because he knows Grill is going to that three-point line in the corner. Bates did a good job of attacking, looking for his shooter. But Pharrell Payne, just the impact that he's had on the glass, but give him the basketball. Solomon Washington read that beautifully. If he was able to keep it in bounds, I would have given you the come into my web and send the spider to the fly.
Manny Obaski just picked up his second. Grill tried to spring free, and he's going to shoot 1-1. Well, Caleb Grill scoreless, coming off at 10 points in Knoxville on Wednesday. You saw him up close and in person a week ago in Starkville, where he's making 40-footers and just going off.
Great arc on that free throw. Uses his legs. Any great shooter, it starts with your balance and your legs. And I think that's why he can shoot it with great ease from distance. It's because he uses everything, his legs, arms, great release with his wrist. All those things make you a great shooter.
He actually had 11 Wednesday night at Tennessee.
2 for 3 from the three-point line. Just couldn't get as many shots against that Tennessee defense.
Banked one of those triples in, too.
Just living right.
Well, it's interesting because it was the same half in which Josh Gray banked in 2 free throws. Steal by Cruz after the errant pass by Payne. An opening for Mizzou. Well, you can tell Bates wants it. He'll take it. He'll get it back in traffic. Tamar Bates gonna shoot 2. Well, Tamar Bates was in the arena an hour before shoot-around started earlier this morning. He stayed about 30 minutes after shoot-around ended. And I don't know what the official count was, but I'm speculating. I think today alone, Tamar Bates has gotten up 500 threes. He has lived behind the three-point arc, getting ready for this game. Just talking about today, he is a gym rat in every sense of the phrase.
And that's how he gets his mind right, mind prepared. The more you see it go in, the more you put in the time, the more confidence you get, the more familiarity you have.
How many jumpers would you get up before a game at Arkansas back in the day? Was that a big deal?
Yeah, well, I would try to make, we'd have our shoot around, and I'd make 200, so you do 25 from the corner, 25 from the wing, 25 from the top, and all the way back around. Then you do that again a couple more times.
So you're getting up hundreds of shots.
Yeah. Well,
day of the game.
Hopefully my percentage is up without any defense near 90.
Bates picks up the foul, his second. Hefner was trying to tiptoe right beside the sideline there, and now A&M's in the bonus. Mizzou has now gone over 6 minutes without a field goal. Remember, we were tied at 20 after the Aggies jumped out to a 12-0 lead early. Well, the Tigers came back, and now A&M has responded. Game of runs. Hayden Hefner at the line, 68%, swishes home the first. Well, he's had a nice season and probably his most productive year for Buzz.
And he's a versatile player, can shoot it, defend, and rebound. It's just A&M is stacked on the perimeter, and so trying to crack and get a bunch of minutes is difficult.
12-0 run to start for Texas A&M. Mizzou responded 13-2. Now the Aggies at 16-7. Under 2 to play. Lead at 9. Cruz, little give and go to Gray. Missed the chippy. Boy, a jump ball high above the free throw line. Cruz. Perkins. A lot to unpack on that possession. Somehow, some way, MIZ found a way.
Yeah. Well, the two things that stand out to me was Josh Gray was strong with the basketball. Didn't get it poked out. Cruz right there, great decision. Obviously, Josh Gray, if you're a Missouri fan, you feel like he's got to knock that down. Those are two good looks, though. Jake Cruz, I mean, that's usually like a layup for him. And Tony Perkins at 6'4", strong, quick to the basketball. And when you do shoot a lot of threes, you're going to get, we know, long shot, long rebound. And Mizzou now getting back to, well, they're the second in the SEC in free throws attempted per game at just about 28. So it's a big part of what they do.
Perkins 1 of 2, now 2 of 4 at the line today. 36-28. Here comes full court, trapping pressure. Aggies busted open. Well, I think you could keep a camera and ISO Solomon Washington and Tamar Bates this entire game and be thoroughly entertained. Hefner lost it to Cruz. 3-on-2. Jacob Cruz. Oh, Washington out of nowhere slams Cruz down to the deck. That play, that sequence, indicative of what this game has been all about in our first 20 minutes. Watch this. They want to look at that, and you see the forearm right behind the back of Cruz. Washington swatted that one away. And Pat Adams going to have a look.
That was good individual defense on Texas A&M's side, as you saw Josh Gray actually come over for that trap that started the scrambling process for A&M's defense, and Jacob Cruz able to get his hand on it, steal away from Hefner. Great action by Jacob Cruz. He just put his head down. I thought he was going to pull up for the three.
Fearless.
Here it is again. Yeah, Solomon solo. Washington, no doubt, says, I'm going to make you earn it from the free throw line. And there was, I would say, to me, it's not a push in the back. Clearly, it's a foul, but I don't think it was anything where he was trying to do anything excessive.
The play would stand as a common foul. 2 shots.
Hey, we're pretty good at this. I mean, Pat Adams is excellent at it.
I'm knocking on wood right now as you say that. I think that was clear cut.
Why did you use my head to knock on when you did that? You could have used the table.
Jacob Cruz came in averaging 7.5 points per game. He's already got 3 triples in the half. And if you talk to those that are at all of these practices, shoot-arounds, it's easy to fall in love with a guy like Caleb Grill. He's the second leading three-point shooter in America right now at 50% of the season. But Cruz is the guy. More times than not, he's not missing when he's open. It hasn't really translated into game day. He's 32% so far, but you're getting a glimpse of what he's capable of. You get him and Grill and Bates going. Well, it's one of the reasons Mizzou's got a great chance to be a second weekend team of the dance.
And it's 6'8". I know he's slim, but that's 6'8" out there helping you in the rim.
Garcia and Payne off of his hands, but last touch by Mizzou. Under a minute to go, the lead at 7. And Buzz Williams going to call a timeout. When it does feel like this is an important couple of possessions to wrap up the half. If Mizzou gets a stop and a bucket, you're talking about a 5 or a 4-point game. If A&M can extend the lead with a 3, goes back to double digits. And so momentum right now, shoot it, feels like is teetering.
Yeah, well, it's so important. End of half, end of game. These possessions will set you up how you approach the second half. And I think for Missouri, probably their confidence getting another stop, right? Nice action, the possession before, really good on-ball defense, great with that double team, forces a turnover, results in points on the other end.
Let's take a look at our Big Flex play brought to you by Southwest Airlines. A&M on the offensive glass, the best team in the country coming into this game at over 16 per contest, going back to work the hard way again this afternoon in Columbia.
Yeah, well, sometimes, just big and strong will beat you up, and Henry Coleman has been able to do that. You see him tipping back for a 3.
Lob to Payne. Pharrell Payne jumping out of the gym. And the lead back to 9. That's why Buzz Williams wanted to call the timeout.
Yeah, hey, there's a great setup play there. Out of bounds.
Perkins to Bates, open from the corner. Josh Gray, an important rebound. 3-second differential between the clocks. Perkins says, let's slow it down. Two on the timer. Grill has it blocked out of bounds by Carter with 0.1 on the shot clock.
They are all over him. Let's take a look at this right here. They try to, a little V cut, set up a screen for him, but possibly looked like it slipped out of his hands as he was going up.
0.1 to shoot, that's not enough time to get a shot off of any kind.
Not of any kind, not even really a tip, right? It has to be 0.3.
3.8 seconds to go. Wade Taylor comes back on the floor. Chase Carter goes out. A little offense for defense. Aiden Shaw checks in for Missouri. First half that has seen Texas A&M lead from the jump.
So have to be careful for Missouri. If you do try to squeeze it in anywhere, now you've got Texas A&M in position for a steal. 2-3 dribbles, able to get up a decent shot in the other end.
And there was still plenty of time on the clock. Payne fired it the full length of the court.
He almost took out a cheerleader.
Buzz Williams is asking, hey, why did you do that?
I think he might have got the shot clock confused with the game clock. But you're right, it's
more than 3 seconds left. And the first half comes to a close. Second half, I thought it was a really solid job by this veteran crew, given the physicality of this first half, now beginning the second, and all of the conversations that were had pregame, during the game, between both coaches, Pat Adams, Vlad Boyard-Tadao, and Todd Austin. Let's see what this second half feels like. And for Mizzou, do you want to see anything different offensively?
They're getting, this is a tough Texas A&M team. They're getting shots. I would say you have to use that over-aggressiveness to your advantage.
Bates an open three, and he's off the mark.
But it's good of a three-point look that Missouri has had in quite a while. But they had success with their backdoor cut, screen, backdoor. Good job by Mitchell staying in front of Obaseki.
10 on the timer. Payne with a pass. Easy finish at the rim.
It's great interior passing there. When Payne gets you on his hip. Tony Perkins a big guard, but just that, he is a guard at 6'4".
Payne has 13 to lead all scores. The lead back to 11. Aggies have led by as many as 12 today. Mark Mitchell's going to try to get going. Pass Coleman, lays it in.
Yeah, and he's the other key there. At 6'9", he can put it on the floor, as he just did in tackling the three-point line. But his best ability was finding his teammates for an open shot.
Phelps blocked by Mitchell. And now Perkins. Giant jump stop rejected by Payne, but fouled in the process. Boy, Perkins leaped in the air right into the heart of the lane.
That's what I love, though. Mitchell, great awareness right here, going up and contesting the shot. And what's great about this is you don't have to play offense against Texas A&M's set half-court defense. Great job pushing it up. Perkins plays off 2 feet, great jump stop. And the thing is, what I love about that, he didn't shy away from the contact, right? He didn't jump away. Yeah, he sidestepped him off 2 feet, made sure he got off the shot. But he knew contact was coming, didn't shy away from it.
Foul was called on Wade Taylor, and that's his third. Perkins makes 2, and Taylor has to have a seat on the bench. So mark the tape here. The lead at 7 with Wade Taylor having to sit out at least the next couple of minutes with 3 fouls.
Mizzou, this pressure defense, you've got Obaseki's played some good minutes and Phelps at the lead guard spot, but Wade Taylor is so important in getting them shots.
Here's a steal by Perkins against Obaseki. Slams it home! Obaseki will shoot 2. How about Perkins?
We just talked about Wade Taylor. Oh, Perkins steps in the lane, and I did not know he could finish like that, although great job. Obaseki says, maybe next time. I don't want to challenge you on that one. Tony Perkins, 6'4". Big, strong. What did it? Coach Dennis Gates has done a good job of bringing in the right transfers. Tony Perkins out of Indianapolis.
Obaseki has the athleticism, if he chose to do so, to challenge that moment, and that was a business decision. When you saw the look in Perkins' eyes,
Yes.
he was in full attack mode.
Oh, he's got wide shoulders, and he was ready to take on a Mack truck if the truck tried to get in front of him.
You know that as a player, right? Like, you see, you're like, okay, all right, we're going to live to see another play.
Yeah, although I had to learn the hard way. You see all these scars on my face, on my chin, and I got a couple of knees to the face, stepped on.
It happens.
You learn. Pain will make you learn.
But Obaseki responds with 2 free throws. Mitchell on the other end.
Good action, another little slip. Get it to Mitchell on the block.
Mark Mitchell in double figures with 10. He had 4 Wednesday night at Tennessee. Was held in check. And the Duke transfer coming back home to the Show Me State. Paying dividends, as is Zurich Phelps.
Wade Taylor out. Phelps knows he's got to make something happen. He's been able to get to the rim multiple times. No resistance at the rim for Missouri, so A&M's going to have that all night.
And Mitchell's starting to feel it a little bit. Contact and a blocking foul. Well, this arena was ready to erupt if that was going to be deemed a charge, and instead Phelps picks up the blocking foul.
So you see Phelps move. Now the only question is, Mitchell holds his arm out.
Phelps has 3. Taylor has 3. And so both of the Aggies sharpshooters going to have a seat on the bench as Hayden Hefner comes back in. So you got Hefner and Obaseki in the backcourt, with Phelps and Taylor on the bench.
And you got 2 guys that give you that dribble penetration.
There goes Bates. Outside to Perkins all afternoon. And Hefner a rebound over the top of Cruz. Obaseki lost it. 2 on 2. Grill to Perkins. The finger roll. Oh, the full arsenal on display for Tony Perkins. And Payne on the spin was bumped by Perkins.
And you have 2 turnovers by Texas A&M. Immediately after Wade Taylor goes out, turnover. Perkins the other way for a flush. Phelps goes out, turnover. Immediately Missouri with a transition bucket.
Shuta, it really feels like it is go time for Mizzou with no Taylor, no Phelps. Down only 5, the crowd back in it. They've trailed the whole game.
They are putting pressure, forcing Obaseki to make plays. And he's got to be smart here.
Step back 3. Garcia taps it to Perkins. Here comes Mizzou. Perkins through the lane. And a foul.
We were both thinking the same thing, weren't we? I thought he was going to explode. I thought he was going to hit top floor elevator.
The eyes got big again for Tony Perkins.
Although I think he probably saw Pharrell Payne, Henry Coleman, and Anderson Garcia. They're waiting for him. But he's a big, strong kid. We talk about his body type, and he welcomes the contact.
Here's Mitchell, the pump fake. 1 possession game in Columbia. And this crowd sensing every bit of this momentum. Manny Obaseki with the bounce.
Bassiki, great pull-up, and he's got that athleticism. Similar to Tamar Bates. Both of those guys, lefties, can get in the lane and finish.
Speaking of Bates, lost the handle on the way up. 5 minutes into the second half. What a game this has turned out to be, and Mizzou right back in it.
There's no doubt Mizzou taking advantage of the turnovers. Good job right here. Tony Perkins, the second one in transition.
Bassiki did a nice job in kind of holding the fort down. A couple of tough moves in traffic and some free throws, but Wade Taylor gives you that different dimension, but he's got to avoid that fourth foul.
Yeah, he's going to resist the temptation to reach in, right? I mean, A&M's defense is aggressive, active hands, resist that temptation for a cheap foul if you Wade Taylor.
Here's Grill out of the timeout. Oh, that would have been big. Down a three-point shot made today. Caleb Grill, Wade Taylor. Garcia rips away the rebound. Taylor for three.
He wastes no time. You saw why he's always in Player of the Year conversation, how quickly he gets up the floor.
Perkins outside to Bates, had to wait on the pass. Couldn't pull the three. This time he will. Top of the key. Cruz.
Okay.
Battling inside.
Okay,
Number 35.
He told you he's 6'8". Come on now. Why do you look so surprised? Maybe it's the headband that gives him the power.
Cruz in double figures. Headband power from the Hall of Famer. I love it. Stolen by Mitchell. Quick hands defending Payne.
And that right there, you see Taylor getting his hand in there. He's got to be careful.
Mitchell for three. Who wants it? Coleman does. He's got 12 boards. Of course, he was going to take it away, right, from Garcia?
No.
Lead back to 6. Taylor outside to Andy Garcia. Ahead to Cruz. Just got caught under the rim. The pass from Mitchell.
I don't know if he has that in his bag. I mean, that would have been an acrobatic play. Good advance pass, though. I love that pass up the floor, ahead of the defense. Jacob Cruz playing right there.
There's Payne on Mitchell. Great battle here. Payne. A little bit of contact. Mark Mitchell picks up the infraction. Well, Mitchell has been more active in this second half. A block already defensively. Obviously, we've seen the offense. Just missed the three moments ago.
Yeah, and Pharrell Payne right there. A&M gave him the whole side to work, isolation. Missouri says, we're not going to double team you. If there was a double team, you know what would happen. Rotations. Now you get Henry Coleman, Anderson Garcia, Hayden Hefner dive into that offensive glass.
Pharrell Payne at the line. 57%. He's been smooth today until that attempt.
Roy.
Number 1 Auburn back in action coming up Tuesday night in Nashville Memorial Gymnasium. That game's up first here on SEC Network at 7 Eastern. Georgia and the fighting Texas Aggies down in College Station. That heads your way at 9 o'clock Eastern. Both games on SEC Network, also on the ESPN app.
We talked about your effect on free throws.
I've learned to stay quiet. But the announcer jinx is real.
Right.
And ask Missouri fans from Wednesday. My apologies with Tamar Bates.
A&M, a high-rate free throw shooting team on the road. Got to have them.
Tigers turn it over. Here's Wade Taylor. Full head of steam. He'll back it out.
Good decision. That recognizes that mismatch.
Somehow got it to Payne, and he was going to be fouled. Wade Taylor the fourth is going to find a way to initiate the offense, find some contact, get to the free throw line, and PB, it's one of the reasons he's probably, if he stays healthy, going to leave College Station as the all-time leading scorer in the history of A&M basketball.
Yeah, it was great to watch his growth and how he affects the game from every which way, even defensively. He's got those quick hands, moves well. And you have a feeling that this game is going to come down to who can make their free throws. And Pharrell Payne is he's played such a great game. And I don't mean to harp on his free throw shooter, but he's going to continue to get to the line. And what you hope for him is the more you get there, the more comfortable you feel, and the more he will make moving forward.
The lead is 6. A&M has not trailed in this game. Number 15 versus number 10 in a top 15 clash. Taylor, the logo 3. Not this time.
And he's right now, I don't know if he was telling Henry Coleman, come out for that. Well, he got the switch he wanted with Josh Gray on him. And you would think that they would go to that mismatch on that switch in the paint.
Caleb Grill looking determined. You can tell he's just trying to find a little bit of space to get that shot off, and give credit to the Aggies. They've been right in his grill. Perkins, it's been a different story. Over Hefner. And poked out by Coleman. He said he had his hands on it. Hefner was fighting his own teammate, try to corral it.
Yeah, and Hefner's another one of the perimeter guys that can come in. Defensively, he is a problem at 6'6". Runs the floor well, can finish.
4 blocks for the Aggies. Warwick checks in. Marquez Warwick by himself went on a 7-0 run Wednesday at Tennessee. He's explosive.
Yeah, he is. And you mentioned Caleb Grill. Well, he's gone against 2 of the best defenses you're going to see in Tennessee and then Texas A&M. Multiple guys that have length to affect his jump shot, size and strength.
And grit.
Yeah. So it's, when he does get an opportunity, he's got to take advantage of it.
Bates on Washington, forced that one up. Timer's winding down, and a shot clock violation. It's Marcus Allen who just checked in, unable to do anything with his back to the bucket. Now A&M continues to keep Mizzou and Dennis Gates at arm's length in this one.
Yeah, and because of their offensive rebounding and their defensive rebounding, it's one shot and you're done on the defensive end.
Coleman lost it over his head. And a timeout in Mizzou Arena. The lead is 6 for number 10, Texas A&M.
There is going to be a lot more movement going on. It's going to be some important games for NCAA tournament seeding, SEC tournament seeding.
We've been scoreless for about 3 minutes. Defense has taken over. Wade Taylor's on the floor with 3 fouls. Peyton Hefner playing a great center field there right in front of Warwick. And Allen called for the foul. He shoved down Wade Taylor.
Marcus Allen, that's back-to-back fouls on Marcus. Good body, good size. Although, as we move forward, and we talked about for the free throw line being something that could decide this game, you don't want to put A&M on the line unnecessarily.
Next foul, Aggies are going to be in the bonus. Chase Carter. Shot clock at 7. Carter without a point tonight. Nearly banked in that 3. Hayden Hefner lost it out of bounds.
I thought Missouri's done a good job in the second half of staying in front of the basketball, right? I mean, there's been a few attack moves. Phelps got to the rim, but they've done a good job of staying in front. That's going to be the #1 thing. We talked about dribble penetration, and you got Phelps and Wade Taylor in at the same time, and they love to get to the paint. It's that dribble penetration. Missouri's defense can stop that.
Tigers 1 for their last 7. Trailing by 6. Bates picked up by Payne. Boy, in traffic, couldn't finish. Marcus Allen. And Washington right in front of the end line. hauls it in. Boy, point-blank chance for Tamar Bates.
That's what they didn't have in the first half, but they came out in the second half, made some tough ones.
Taylor threw it up, too strong. Marcus Allen. Baseball pass to Ward. Lob to Grill. Caleb Grill, his first field goal of the game. Shot clock at 9. Allen on Carter. Tigers in transition. You're up. And a foul. Tamar Bates. If that's Wade Taylor, that's his fourth. And it is.
Great advance pass. Caleb Grill. High school quarterback Caleb Grill catches it. Great athlete. Great transition by Missouri. They've been able to get out in transition. Some steals. Defense review on the first half. We saw them compete on the glass, get out in transition. And we talked about Wade Taylor the fourth. There was going to be a moment when after he got his third foul, that he'd have to make a decision. I see the ball. He's exposing the ball to me. I can't resist taking a swipe at it, coach. It was right there.
Here's Bates. 2 of 2. 1 possession game. Halfway through the second half. Aggies without a point. Almost 5 minutes. Bates slams it down. Tied at 49. It's the first time we've been tied since it was 20 all. What a scene in Columbia. An 8-0 run by the Tigers in a brand new game. And he didn't say it, but he indicated there's a lot of value in that. He's an alpha, and he's been leading this team all season long.
He has come up big for them in the most important times. And you see the environment, mention the environment. And that plays into going on the road in conference play, because you're playing against these fans going crazy. That momentum, I mean, that is something the crowd fuels this Missouri team. It gives them that extra level that they can get to.
First time we've been tied since it was 20 points apiece. It was a long time ago. Zurich Phelps, he also has 3 fouls. Double teamed. Gets it to Washington. Desperation 3. A bucket here gives Missouri its first lead of this game. Well, the crowd wants Grill to let one loose. Don't they?
Everything's going right for Missouri now. Might as well.
Bates to Allen. Up and in. Marcus Allen, unexpected offense off the bench. First lead of the game for MIZ. Phelps lost it out of bounds.
Missouri has turned their pressure up a notch. 5 turnovers this half. All have come with Wade Taylor the fourth on the bench. Now, they've played, obviously, when Wade Taylor was out injured. They've had to play without him from the point guard position. But this Missouri pressure is a different animal now. They know how to get up, chest to chest, active hands, quick feet. And they're out ball hawks.
Grill to Bates. Tamar Bates. Pinballs around, still on the deck. Saved by Warwick. A&M gets it back. And now it's Zurich Phelps. He claims he was shooting. Todd Austin have a conversation about it. And free throws will be coming.
And you see how just slim right there. Missouri's able to get that offensive rebound versus now A&M. Defense rebound, loose ball. Phelps puts his head down again to get to the rim. Is rewarded with 2 free throws.
Zurich Phelps trying to stop a 10-0 Missouri run. Front end of the 1-and-1.
1 free throw. Just that front end of a 1-and-1. We may see this come down to the free throw line.
Now it's Warwick to Euro. Marquez Warwick, transfer from Northern Kentucky. Here's a guy coming off of Dennis Gates' bench that has scored almost 2,500 points in his collegiate career. I mean, what a luxury to have that kind of talent and scoring ability, and a guy that can go off any game. And we saw that for a brief moment at Tennessee.
Experienced player, another one of those transfers that fits into what Coach Gates wants to do. He's played 11 guys this game, and they've all contributed.
Now, don't forget our gymnastics doubleheader, a Valentine's Day edition on SEC Network, the ESPN app. Number 15, Arkansas takes on 11th-ranked Georgia in the Classic City. That's at 7 Eastern. Then Auburn and Florida, a top 15 showdown in Gainesville. Should be another exciting night of SEC gymnastics. Friday Night Heights returns this coming Friday, a Valentine's Day edition, my friend.
Friday Night Heights, tune in.
2-possession lead for the Tigers.
Wade Taylor, the 4th, back in, trying to settle down his A&M team.
Now the rebounding now favoring Missouri after this sensational start in the second half.
Look how far Missouri's pushed A&M out.
Gray on Payne. Wow. Burrell Payne, a grown man move inside.
Hey, he has come up huge. They've thrown it to him on the block or the mid-post, and he's been patient and strong and getting all the way to the rim.
Banks for 3 from the logo. Taylor calls a timeout. Mizzou Arena has come back to life in this second half. And here comes Tamar Bates.
First half, still Missouri 5 of 19 from the 3-point line right now. Not shooting their average. Of course, they make 10+ in conference play.
Wade Taylor on the floor with 4 fouls. Zurich Phelps has 3. Aggies just 1 for their last 7. There goes Phelps. Boy, in the air for a moment that time. Created a separation and the layup.
Yeah, and Missouri elected not to trap Phelps out at the half-court line, which they've been doing. Phelps, an acrobatic finish. Missouri's had success with trapping out in that half-court line area.
And an offensive foul called on Gray. But Wade Taylor made that call exiting the lane that time. There was some contact there, and Gray picks up his second.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but you mentioned how A&M is getting close to being put on the free throw line for any foul. We talked about how their free throw shooting at 65% right now, worse than the SEC.
Payne to Wilcher, over to Taylor, an open look. And that was pure right off the fingertips. You can see it from our vantage point.
That skip pass is so devastating. If it could be executed, the ball didn't stick. Wilcher got it right to Wade Taylor.
Shoot it. This is a Saturday afternoon treat we're all witnessing here between these two teams. Steal by Phelps. Aggies get a chance to get it back and regain the lead. Top 15 showdown. Number 10 versus number 15. Living up to the hype. Warwick a spin move. Pushes that one up and in.
Smooth, confident scorer. That's why Warwick was a highly touted transfer.
Taylor to Coleman. And a shove is going to put Henry Coleman at the line.
There's that ball move by Texas A&M. Payne with the skip pass. Wilcher does not wait to get it to Wade Taylor. Catch and shoot. And his Warwick, creative scorer, gets in the lane. And it's those types of shots. Because A&M is running Missouri up that three-point line, you got to be able to make tough twos against this team.
You mentioned the free throw shooting. Aggies tonight 10 of 16, and Coleman's going to get one more. Solomon Washington on the floor. Wade Taylor a breather. And Buzz Williams wants to know why that free throw was stopped. And Pat Adams explaining. Well, I tell you, there have been conversations today, even 10 minutes before tip-off, between Buzz and Pat Adams. It's been a well-officiated game. We've talked about that.
Pat Adams came over and asked Coach Gates to get back in the coach's box.
Coleman missed them both. And then a foul called after Gray grabbed the rebound. So Payne picks up the foul. That's his second. You can feel a little chippiness developing here in this second half between the two sides, and that includes everybody.
Well, it was building throughout, even in pregame. That's how these teams play. They're physical, intense.
Bates blocked by Payne right at the rack. You want to talk about rim protection.
That is great timing and focus by Payne.
Phelps, Payne on the offensive glass. And there was a foul there. Gray fell down. And he's going to pick up the foul, his third.
DeMar Bates gets up, wants to attack. Pharrell Payne goes.
He's teaching the class in rim protection 101.
Look at that time, just perfect. Right hand on the basketball.
There have been a handful of fearless attempts and a couple of dunks tonight that have not gone down. Free throws continue to be a problem now. 10 of 18 for the Aggies. And Bates telling Grill what to expect. One of two for Payne, the lead back to one.
That's a big shot right there for him and his confidence at the free throw line.
I don't know if there's a better game in college basketball than what we are seeing here today at Mizzou Arena. Back and forth affair. And Allen may have stepped out of bounds. He did. Marcus Allen just picked up his third foul moments ago. Had that big bucket to give Mizzou the lead earlier in the half. And now Missouri with 14 turnovers.
Well, it seems like we've seen that play happen quite a bit, right? Guys not aware
Why is
how
that?
close they are. A lot of the play designs that we see have a guy that just stay in that corner. And I think they just lose track of where they're at. A&M had success with just letting Payne go to work.
Gray held his ground. Phelps gets it outside the arc. And now Taylor loves this kind of moment. Pops out to Bates. Now to Warwick. Swatted by Washington. And a timeout called by Missouri. Bates was on his knees, and he found a way to maintain the possession. 4:18 to go at Mizzou Arena in this top 15 showdown. Crunch time has arrived. Emotions running high between these two SEC rivals here in Columbia. Come back with us. Missouri trying to protect its home court against 10th-ranked Texas A&M. He's Patrick Bradley, I'm Roy Philpott, and Mizzou, an undefeated record at home this year, 15-0, and currently over on ESPN2, Auburn is getting obliterated at Neville Arena by 20 against the Florida Gators. So who knows what's going to happen down the stretch.
In that environment, wow.
How about that? That's a stunning outcome, at least up to this point. A lot of time left in that one. Not much time left here in Columbia. And back and forth we've gone these last couple of minutes. Both teams giving their absolute all. Wade Taylor IV in foul trouble. Zurich Phelps with 3 personals. And Tamar Bates in takeover mode here, Shuda. He's got 14 points and a different look, a different mentality to pace the Tigers so far in this second half.
Yeah, I thought the Missouri Tigers came out in the second half, created turnovers, which resulted in direct fast break points on the other end, and that just opened things up. And then they've competed on the glass against A&M, haven't dominated the way they did in the first half against Missouri.
Foul called on Jace Carter. So numeral 0 picks up his second, and Mizzou in the bonus. And that's going to put Marquez Warwick at the line, an 80% free throw shooter.
And expect to see both teams continue to attack, get to the free throw line as they're number 2 and 3 in free throw attempts in the SEC, with Alabama being the top team free throw shooting.
Warwick, a 4-time All-Horizon League selection at NKU. And Mizzou now with 22 bench points compared to just 5 for Texas A&M.
And how about the luxury for Coach Gates to be able to have a guy like Warwick come off the bench, right? And the depth, they played 11 guys, Missouri. And they all come in and contribute in different ways, right? Whether it's a guy like Marcus Allen bringing energy.
Todd Austin just talked with Pat Adams. Free throw line extended there, and then they decided to go over to the scores table and have a look at that last sequence. 1 free throw's already in by Warwick. He's going to get 1 more. Tigers now lead it by 2. And Vladimir Voyer-Tadao now the headset on, wanting to revisit those last 10 to 15 seconds.
And it's been a physical game, but it has not been dirty.
There's a play that we're going to review on the screen right before the foul occurred.
So it was before the foul called. I guess we'd have to run back that entire possession to really get an idea of what player and what screen he's talking about. Up top here, looks like it would be looks like Josh Gray doesn't seem to hit Phelps. I mean, Jace Carter right there, maybe hitting Warwick into out of bounds play, a little extra forearm shiver, as they say, on the gridiron. Getting ready for the Super Bowl tomorrow. But that could be trying to, again, physical play there.
Talking about the Super Bowl in these parts, that's going to get a lot of people's attention. Chiefs got a chance for the
previous play. There is no foul on the previous play. Missouri will shoot 1 shot, and we will play from the point of interruption.
I'd imagine he's just looking to see if there was a little extra something there on because, you know, trying to be physical. You're not allowing Warwick to come off that screen, right? So you know, Jace Carter's putting his body in the way, trying to keep him off of coming off that screen.
One more for Warwick. Tigers make a living at the free throw line this season. That continues today. A decided advantage. Now 17 of 20 at the line. A&M just 11 of 19.
Which has made up for their lack of three-point shooting for Missouri.
Phelps picked up by Bates. Pharrell Payne. Gray holds his ground. Payne off the glass twice, up and in. Pharrell brings the pain with moments like that. 16 points, a couple of rebounds on that possession.
I do not envy anybody who's got to guard him one-on-one in the paint. Josh Gray did all he could.
Payne now at 18. Warwick feeling it. Not this time. Payne slaps it to Coleman. How about that duo under the rim? Now Taylor up and in. Circus shot in the lane.
Yeah, you're going to have to make those tough shots. Missouri and Warwick got that shot on their end, didn't make it. Tough twos, contested tough twos. You're going to have to be able to fight through the contact.
Grill an opening. Allen had it for a moment. Aggies have the lead and possession. Wade Taylor in double figures now with 12.
Pharrell Payne, what a play right there. He couldn't get it. He tipped it to his teammate to prevent the offensive rebound by Mizzou.
Taylor a deep three. Grill a rebound. Marquez Ward. Here's Caleb Grill. And Coleman, strong board, is 16th of this game. One more than his jersey number. Caleb Grill just 1 for 5. He's been held in check. Second leading scorer for the Tigers on the season, not tonight. Payne and Gray, 3 on the timer. Blocking foul called on Josh Gray.
See Warwick hedging down on that, trying to figure out, should I come for the double team? No, he decides not to. And Josh Gray right there tries. Looks like he didn't quite wait for that contact. Looked like he tried to pull the chair a little bit and fell back before that contact, that true contact hit. Felt like that was a good call. Josh Gray sitting at 4 fouls. I'm surprised. Battling against those bigs all day.
Between him and Payne, they can combine to force
And he just
15 or 16 fouls, right?
Exactly.
Feels that way. Clutch free throw from Payne. Mentioned at the Aggie struggles at the line tonight. 12 of 20. Payne now 5 of 9. And Washington with a seat on the bench. Pharrell Payne with 20 points.
Well, what's important is how you shoot at the end of games, right? The free throw line, you know, if you can make them in what we call clutch time, certainly under 2 minutes, that's where it's really going to matter. Taking care of the basketball, free throw line.
Mark Mitchell in, Josh Gray out. The Aggies in the midst of a 6-0 run to regain the advantage. And Missouri without a point now in the last 2.5 minutes shooting.
Again, you see some extended pressure here. A&M certainly just trying to disrupt Missouri's offense. Have to take some time off the clock.
90 seconds to go in Columbia. Big possession for the Tigers. Cruz had 9 early points tonight. against Garcia. Bump by Coleman. Puts it up and in.
Don't get much more difficult than that, Roy.
He had two guys right on top of him. Jacob Cruz didn't care.
I don't even think he knew Henry Coleman was coming for that double team. Garcia, see him right there, not giving him middle. Coleman comes over and Cruz, just that fadeaway. That's a big time. That's a pro move right there. Feeling where that defense is coming.
Jacob Cruz with 14 points. He averages just over 7 per game this year, and a timeout called. The lead is one. It should have. Look, you don't want this game to end. I mean, it's been high-level hoops throughout, comeback after comeback for both sides.
I just feel that shot by Jacob Cruz was not only high-level difficult, but so extremely important. Think of what you said, the scoring drought, certainly from the field by Missouri, getting some shots, hadn't been able to make any. Where Texas A&M on the other end has Wade Taylor as a fantastic option, making some tough shots. Pharrell Payne has been nearly unstoppable when he gets the ball on the block.
Pharrell Payne, 3 points off of his season high with the fighting Texas Aggies. He's got 20 points, 23. He's reached on one occasion. And Pharrell Payne, a clear difference maker for Buzz Williams. Aggies get it back. The lead is one. It seems obvious. It's basketball. It's not rocket science. You're going to put the ball in Wade Taylor's hands. In your opinion, is that accurate?
There's no question about it now. Of course, Wade Taylor the fourth has to understand shot selection here. You've had success going to Pharrell Payne on the block, right? Isolating him on the block. Now, if you're Pharrell Payne, you got to decide, okay, am I going to keep doing what I've done, put my head down? Now, Payne is out of the game, so you expect to have either Phelps or Wade Taylor, the basketball in their hands. Certainly, I'm sure Coach Buzz Williams will be saying free throw line is going to be important for us. We want our best free throw shooters out there as well.
Taylor gives it up to Coleman. Approaching a minute to play. Aggies lead by one.
Oh, man.
And a steal by Warren. The lob fakes. Mizzou back in front. Taylor. And Garcia battling inside was fouled, attacking the offensive glass. Fourth foul on Marcus Allen. How about that last sequence?
Oh, Warwick read that beautifully. Wade Taylor tries to go back towards the corner, and Warwick reads that passing lane, and you throw it up to Tamar Bates just about anywhere, especially today when he's got the juice flowing.
Here's Garcia. First free throws of the game for Andy Garcia. 66% free throw shooter this season. He'll get two. With the pressure of this moment, you can feel it courtside.
On the road, shooting free throws. Very lonely place. My suggestion, bend your knees. In moments like this, you're a little bit more tense, a little bit more tight. Bend your knees to give it a little bit extra to get over the front of the rim.
We are tied at 64.
Good job, Garcia. Got not only the front of the rim, but a little bit of the back of the rim. You've got to know in those situations how your muscles react.
Marquez Warwick remains on the floor. This critical moment for the Tigers. Warwick on Washington. Bottled up. Grill to Bates. Who wants it? 4 on the timer. Tamar Bates does. And the rebound by Washington. The box out was brilliant. The handoff to Coleman, and here come the Aggies. Buzz Williams wants a timeout. He's going to get it. Boy, he has been animated more than usual today. He has been all over the place, knowing how important this game is for A&M.
Yeah, that was one of the most exciting timeout calls that I think I've ever seen, and clearly wanted to get it past half court to get Wade Taylor IV back in the basketball game.
Buzz Williams looks like he's ready to play.
Yeah, well, how important. So we talk a lot about Coach Williams. It's like, hurry up, Phelps, hurry up. Let's get that ball past the half-court line so I can get this timeout. We have plenty of time on the clock. Now, we all think about game-winning shots, right? 9.8 seconds on the clock. That's exciting. That plays on, SEC Now late-night show. But how about that game-winning defensive stop, potentially game-winning defensive stop by A&M and the defensive rebound? Those things also are what puts you in position to win basketball games. Anderson Garcia, second made free throw. See, it's a slim margin of victory and defeat.
Aggies have been clutch in league games, decided by one possession late, and also going back to non-conference play. Totally different animal today in this top 15 game between Mizzou and Texas A&M. It has lived up to the billing thus far. And Pat Adams walked over to our broadcast position. What did he have to say?
The clock will be adjusted to 10.1 seconds.
So I'm going to ask you this question. Wade Taylor's going to be involved, but Texas A&M is so good on the offensive glass. Do you just try to get one up there and then roll the dice?
Well, there's no question that we see at the end of game situations. Most often it is the second attempt, the tip in, and that plays right into Texas A&M's hands, although Mizzou has been very good on the defensive glass and compete in the second half. So you still have, obviously, I don't know if he'll bring in Pharrell Payne for that. Pharrell Payne obviously didn't play that last offensive possession. But you do have Phelps, a slasher, can get in the lane. Obviously, Wade Taylor IV. Hayden Hefner's in there. Thought maybe you'd see Manny Obaseki in there, another guy that could create off the dribble. But this is why you have Wade Taylor IV, one of the great creators in the college basketball game.
Any foul results in 2 free throws for the Aggies. 10.1 seconds to go. Wade Taylor has it. 5 seconds remaining. Taylor, that's a 3. On the way, and he drains it. Texas A&M by 3, and a timeout called by Mizzou.
Just fantastic spacing when it counted. Anderson Garcia under control, patient, and then Wade Taylor reading the defense. Just that little slip, that little slide right there. As Warwick overcommits. Again, we talked about how often, too, we see guys. Watch that, just a little backdoor cut. Now, you're going back, you're seeing that, you're saying to yourself, Warwick, Anderson Garcia, you don't need to come out and help on him. He's 22 feet away from the basket. The only threat you have would be allowing Wade Taylor IV to catch that basketball again. And as he's done many times in many buildings, Wade Taylor IV makes you pay. That's
3 of 9 from deep. I mean, that felt like it was going in the second it left his fingertips.
But Roy, one of the advantages Mizzou had is, let's see what old Pat
The
Adams.
clock is going to be reset to 2.1 seconds on the game clock.
One of the advantages, Wade Taylor gives the basketball up. That's a dream come true, baby. Just don't let him catch it again. You got Anderson Garcia's got the basketball, right? Anderson's played a great game. Andy's a great player. However, the big shot man is Wade Taylor.
2.1 seconds remaining. Mizzou has got to go the full length of the court and hit a 3 to force overtime. Now, we did see a play against Tennessee on Wednesday night It was the baseball pass down to the free throw line to Perkins, who then underhanded it to Jacob Cruz. And it was shades of Bryce Drew in the NCAA tournament in '98. And let's see if Dennis Gates tries to dial up something similar here. Cruz made the three.
Not enough time, I think, for A&M to foul because it's going to be catch and shoot.
Grill's going to get it near half court. The pump fake off the front of the rim, and that'll do it. Texas A&M on the road, its 6th straight win in Columbia, and what a matchup it was between these top 15 programs.
Yeah, it was everything we thought it would be with the high pressure, intense defensive battle, and Missouri coming back in that second half, I thought did everything they could to win. Texas A&M, though, tightened it up on the defensive end, that last minute of play, and then the big shot by Wade Taylor. When you get a guy that's a big shot maker like him, you feel like you get a shot in every game.
Wade Taylor, the fourth, the hero with the late three with less than 2.5 seconds to go. 67-64, our final in Columbia. For Pat Bradley, I'm Roy Philpott. Let's get you guys back to the studio right now.